This is the Lockpicker 1969, and welcome to my channel, and welcome to the next episode of Interview with a Lockpicker. Today's guest is Dependent Quarter. Say hello.
Hello, everyone.
So, where are you from?
So I am from Bulgaria, and for people that don't know, it's in the European Union.
Okay. So, how and when did you get into locksport?
So when I first got recommended some videos, I believe it was the Lockpicking Warrior, like the most famous channel, and this got me like very interested. I started searching for more videos. I joined the Lockpickers United Reddit, and I was a worker from a long time. I was just looking at what other people do, and one day a video popped up. This video was from Locknoob actually, and it was like how to pick locks with that Amazon set. Everyone says it's the Amazon set. So I decided to get one for myself and try it out. And I watched this video like a million times. I had it almost memorized in my mind. And I got the Amazon set ordered, and I got some cheap EA locks from the hardware store. And I got into lockpicking that way.
Okay. So, how long before you grew out of the Amazon set?
So the Amazon set, actually, I managed to get all the way up to blue belt with
Oh,
it.
wow. Okay.
And the reason that I believe it stopped there is just because there are only two hooks that I actually can use for single pin picking. And they were like very bent back from all the picking of the wording that I was doing at the beginning.
Yeah.
So I just got to a point where I just couldn't progress anymore without buying better tools.
Okay.
So I looked up some advice and decided to go with Sparrows because they're more budget-friendly
Yeah.
option. So I got the Sparrows Dark Shift
Okay.
with the stock heavy bars, and also I got the SSDF hooks in 15,000s.
I just brought my dark shift set back down to my lab this morning before this interview. I actually like
Oh
that.
yeah.
I like that set. So
Yeah, me too. I actually like it very much. Most of the tools there I don't use much often anymore, but it's actually very nice set to have. And
well,
for beginner, I believe there are good because there are some rakes, there are some hooks, good
yeah.
profiles. You can use it for almost anything.
Well, I thought with the hard case it comes with, and if you get the expansion set together, it makes for a really nice EDC kit.
Yeah, exactly. The EDC, it's just perfect for those type of people that like to EDC.
Yeah. Which is what I actually had it set aside for upstairs in my home for when I go out. And then I've since upgraded to just putting a couple of kits in each of our vehicles that are actually Southord C2 2010s with some added tools inside of that little pouch, and it works perfectly. So,
That's really cool.
so what did you go to after Sparrows?
So after Sparrows, I realized that I wanted to try some dimple walks actually, and for dimple walks I needed flux, obviously. I was actually trying to pick some dimple walks with half diamond, but it was very hard, and you could do it on only very open keyway walks that you can fit the half diamond. So I got the Honest Donkshi set, and I got also some Peterson hooks. Try them out. I got the ones in 18,
Yeah,
18,000s with
the
the pink handles.
pink candle. Yep. Yep.
And they actually were one of my favorite picks. I even like them more than the Sparrows. because I obviously pick more Euro keyways and they are thinner picks, so that helped me a lot.
I would say the blue handled ones from Peterson, they're nice to have in a pinch, but I don't find myself using them very much.
Yeah, they're more occasional, let's
Yeah,
say.
15 thousandths. They're you have to be really gentle with them.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So
But for the higher security walks, you definitely want to have thin picks.
yeah.
Definitely.
So you did some Peterson and you did the Dongxi for your dimple stuff. What did you go to from there as well?
So from there, I already was black belt the time I bought my next picks, and I was debating should I buy Jimmy Wong's or should I buy Moki picks. But because Jimmy Wong's was out of stock, I
Yeah.
decided to try the Moki picks because absolutely everyone that I talked to was very happy with them. So I just messaged Smokey and said, "Man, I need every single one of your hook profile. Just try it." And actually, he was very, very generous. He sent me the scales as a gift because I usually don't use handles. I like the feedback of the pick when it's bare metal. When picking for a longer time, it's not very good, but you just get a lot better feedback, in my opinion, using them bare, no handles. And I also got with the Moki picks, the HPC all cabas are beautiful, designed by Yabende for high pin count walks, and those picks are amazing. They're hybrid from FWAC and hook, and you can use them to pick the both sides of the HPC walks and also the top row, which is most time the hardest part of high pin count walks. The top
Okay.
row is most problematic.
Yeah, go to refer back to the Mokis for a minute. I recently purchased a set for myself, and dealing with Moki was awesome. Extremely
Oh,
light.
he's amazing.
Yeah, he was a great guy, great communication, and yeah, I can't wait to get my hands on them when they arrive. So,
Yeah, for the American pickers, you can buy Moki picks from Rubber Band's shop. That is Hooligan Keys, I believe it was the website. He also sells chaos, so you can get set up from there
okay,
and probably for cheaper than
okay.
buying them from Europe.
Well, I don't mind paying a little bit more for the personal touch as well. Um, but
Oh
yeah,
yeah, that's for sure.
I wasn't aware of that Rubber Band was selling them. I guess I tried to do some research, but ultimately I wound up just connecting directly with Moki and getting that all set up. Um, so what was your journey like from starting in lockpicking to where you are today as far as the community is concerned? Because you mentioned about, getting onto the subreddit and all of that. Um, so what exactly has your experience been like?
So my experience has been like 100% positive. The community is amazing. As I mentioned earlier, I started on the Reddit, and I believe when I was blue belt, actually before I got my Sparrows, that's when I discovered the Discord server.
Yeah.
And from there, just what you get in Reddit is far less information and far less like connection to the people
Yeah.
because there is always someone on Discord. Like you can just pop in, say, "Yo, I got this walk. Can somebody help me?" And there are always at least 2 or 3 people that are going to give you some very detailed explanation, some very good advice, and just I haven't had any kind of bad experience with this community. Everyone is so generous. Everyone wants to share their knowledge,
Yeah.
and everyone just keeps saying you can do it, and just amazing community overall. But yeah, the Discord server is where all the best things happen. So I
Yeah.
encourage people to join if they don't. Just come here on Discord, chat with us, everyone is always very welcoming, and yeah.
So you're a black belt, fourth Dan. Um,
Yeah.
you talked a little bit about your journey earlier, but what I'm curious to go back to is when you were trying to get to black belt, you had indicated in the pre-interview that you had some people that really kind of made a difference and helped you out there.
Yeah, so what happened is, like, I believe that happens for most people, is you get to a point where all the walks that are for the higher belts just get crazy expensive. If you want
Yeah.
uh, good walks that are interesting, you will need to spend some money, that's for sure. And yeah, that's where the great community actually comes into play, because there are two people that were very generous to me, and these are +7 and Dromiset. They're both black belt pickers, very talented pickers, and they were just so kind to loan me a bunch of their walks for me to progress my belts with, because at the time that I got my first package from +7, I was brown belt, I believe, and I just didn't have any more walks to progress. So he sent me one purple, one red, and 3 black belt walks.
Awesome.
Also, the other guy, Dromi, said he sent me like 2 black belt walks and a bunch of other lower belt walks that just they were so kind, because you know that for black belts you need to get every single walk that you pick. You can't just pick a walk and not get it.
Yeah.
And they just trusted me, and I'm very thankful for that, because that's expensive walks and everything can happen. Getting disasters happen to everyone,
Yeah.
like no matter how experienced you are. And just they trusted me, and I'm very thankful for that. So yeah, now I've picked every single walk that they sent me, and I have some other people sending me some walks soon. So I'm, as always, very thankful to this amazing community, and that's one of the reasons that I try to help as much as I can to anyone that needs my help.
That's great. So I want to then very easily here transition into to talking about some of your latest achievements.
Okay, so I will talk about first about the hardest walk that I've ever picked. That was the Opnus MMXI, and this is uh, Japanese very high security walk with 14 levers and a sidebar. And this walk, I have been working on it for like 4 months. It was that hard, and I had weeks that I've been working every day for at least 3 to 4 hours a day. And this walk is just so mean. And after I got it open, just it was just this amazing feeling
Yeah, I would
that
imagine.
I didn't give up, because I at the times I was about to give up. But again, the community was so great. There were a lot of people encouraging me, giving me advice as well. So yeah, the community actually plays a big role in people's progressions. That's what I noticed.
Okay.
And yeah, the MMXI is the hardest walk I've picked. Also, the Miwa PR, that's again Japanese lever walk, which you pick with dimple wax. That one I also spent like 4 months in, and it was as well very crazy walk. I believe you have that one, Miwa PR.
Yep.
Yeah, so you know, you probably know what I'm talking about.
I admittedly have been intimidated to even approach that one yet when I'm working on locks that are probably in from your perspective a lot less challenging that I'm still trying to figure out. So
No. Every walk is challenging, but that's what one of the things I encourage people to do is to not set themselves in like a boundary. You need to be able to overcome these walks. Like, no,
yeah.
even if they're outside of your league, you should try. You should
Yeah.
give it a go. Maybe you can do it.
Well,
The best way to fail is to never try, of course.
I'm bound and determined to figure out and be able to reliably pick disc detainer locks, which is one of those things I'm trying to work on right now. So still
Yeah,
just
so
not quite getting it yet, but I'll get there. It just takes time.
yeah, it takes time. That's it. Most actually most of the black belts, they just put so much time into these walks, and you see the video. It's like 10 minutes of picking, but this person has been staying for hours in front of this walk
Yeah.
and picking and trying to figure out what this feedback means, how to tension it. Some of the walks need custom tools.
Yep.
At the Mule PR, let's say I had to file my one of the donk shift wax like so much it became almost thin like a hair to be able to fit it in the keyway and not overset the minimum lifts, because they are very easy to overset. Just slide the flag and they're overset.
Yeah. Okay. So I wanted to dive a little bit into challenge locks. So starting from the first challenge lock that you had to build for Blue Belt, if
So
you could kind of talk from there on your experience with challenge locks.
okay, so the first challenge walk, as you mentioned, I built it for the blue belt requirements. And that's actually when my love for challenge walk making started, because I really enjoyed that concept of building your own walk, modifying your own
Yeah.
pins, and just the whole process of taking it apart, testing every interaction, trying to figure out ways to make it harder to pick, because sometimes making a modification actually makes it easier to pick, because of the way locks are manufactured. If they have good tolerances, by modding, let's say, the plug, you actually could be making it easier to pick. So you have to be very careful. And of course, the first time I was doing it, I didn't know exactly what I was doing, but with more challenge walks came more knowledge and more experience. And I could say one of my latest ones are very good, and I actually haven't been able to pick my last two ones. They are one of my best, I could say, proudest challenge walks. And the first one that I mentioned for blue belt is actually where I got to know this black belt +7, because he accepted it and I sent it to him, and that's where I got to know him. And yeah, from then on, I started making. I made two more challenge walks that I also sent to him. And after that, I was red belt at that time. I saw that for one of the quests for black belts. So when you apply for black belts, you could do uh, master projects, quests, or just pick 6 walks, which if 2 walks is equal to 1 quest. The
Hmm.
minimum is 2 walks and 2 quests. But most people do it like this. So I saw that for the challenge walk maker quest, I needed to make 2 more challenge walks, and since I really enjoyed that, I decided to go with that option. So that's when I created my first set of challenge walks. They were a dimple and a pin tumble challenge walk that I put inside of a metal box on which I secured small Yale padlock. The theme of the challenge walks was Yale. All of them were Yale, and it's like a challenge, because if you can't pick the padlock, it was stock padlock. If you can't pick it, you probably won't be able to pick the challenge walks inside. And yeah, I
I
think
I used that same theory on my first challenge lock set for blue. If you can't pick the locks on the outside of the case, then forget picking the ones inside of it. Yep.
yeah, exactly. It's like a fun challenge, and setting the expectations as well.
Yep.
And yeah, these two challenge walks, the set, I sent them to Peace Weapon. He was actually able to pick them both, and after that, I sent them to he sent them to Rain, who was also able to pick them. And I actually really enjoy when people manage to pick my challenge walks, and they have fun. That's one of
Yeah.
the main motivators for me is that people are having fun and enjoying my work.
So, real quick question on the Challenge Lock Quest. What other
Yeah.
qualifications for that?
Let me clarify it first. So for black belt application, your quest needs to be minimum tier 2. There are 5 possible tiers ranging from 1 to 5. And for tier 2 challenge walk quest, you need to have at least 5 challenge walks made, including one of them being with unusual design or artistic merit. And I went for the artistic merit, I believe, because unusual design is kind of hard to do in challenge walks because almost everything that you can think of, someone else has already made it.
Yeah.
It's just like that. So I decided to go for a nice presentation, for unique experience, let's say.
Mm-hmm.
And the black belts who vote on the quests really like it, and they gave me tier 2, which was very nice.
Awesome. Cool.
Yeah.
Okay. So, last question before we wrap up. What do you do for a living?
So for a living, I actually work in a company that makes paints for what's the word, for painters, like who make paintings. And I
Art
actually paint
artists.
myself. Yeah, thank you, artists. I'm actually graduated art school, and I'm designer by profession, but I don't actually do it. I just got into it's like again it's this kind of business, but not exactly. And yeah, I'm actually making the paint and selling it,
Okay, but
which is
that gives you
very
some
interesting.
insight into what an artist is looking for in their paint, though. So,
Oh yeah,
yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
This helped a lot.
Okay. All right. That's awesome. Very interesting too. We haven't. In the interview process, I meet so many different people from all different walks of life. It's just amazing to me the number of different perspectives that are brought to the lockpicking community, as well as the different experiences that people bring to it. So, I definitely want to have you back to do an interview for the Challenge Lock Workshop series,
Oh yeah, I
as a
would love
challenge
to do
lock.
that.
Yeah, that'll be fun. I'm looking forward to that one. So, is there anything you'd
So,
like to say to our audience before we wrap up?
what I wanted to say is what I said earlier. I encourage people to just get out of their comfort zone and try that challenge works. Try that works that are from, let's say, their naughty bucket, that works that they think are out of their league. But in my experience, nothing is unpickable, nothing is undoable. You just have to be patient, be persistent, and you can always, of course, ask for help on the Discord. Just so many helpful people.
Yeah.
And yeah, I highly encourage everyone to get out of their comfort zone and try those hard walks that they think they can't pick, but they only think that.
It's only impossible until you've developed the skills to get it done, right?
Exactly.
Okay. I want to thank you. This has been awesome. I really enjoyed our conversation. We went on for quite a bit with the pre-interview and found everything we were talking about pretty fascinating. So,
I enjoyed it
I,
very much as well.
great conversation. So, all right, with that, we'll wrap this one up. I want to thank people for listening. If you are a subscriber, thank you. If you are not yet a subscriber, please hit that subscribe button, turn on notifications and all, and hit like on the video. And thank you for listening.